So Carlos, now that I just completed my inspection down in your crawl space, I did notice some moisture, and I'd like to bring this to your attention because with moisture, this could lead to more significant problems down the line. So a lot of our homeowners appreciate understanding how that moisture is present in the crawl space, and I'm going to go over the potential future damage that this could arise from it. So I'd like to play the short video and just talk about on how everything's working with the moisture, air down underneath your crawl space. So when we look at your crawl space, water vapor is rising from the soils above, reaching up into your floor framing systems, creating mold. Contractors have tried to battle this by placing plastic liner down on below to prevent this vapor coming up. Since the foundation walls are porous, vapor is also seeping through, and that cold air is coming in, clashing in with the temperature inside. This is going to create condensation on your ducting system, which is causing cold air and making your system work overtime. Installations installed to battle those cold floors and running your heater for long periods of time. During the summer months, the hot air is coming in, condensing with your AC system, creating a vapor, causing a vicious cycle of water, vapor, creating mold. Not with mold, you have 50% of the air that you breathe is coming down underneath your crawl space. So just a quick recap, kind of slow it down. This is what it looks like. So during the summer months, hot air is getting pulled in. As you can see, all that moisture is getting saturated in your floor framing system near your vent. Crawl space rain is with the outside moisture coming in, tackling and getting in contact with your AC system. This causes condensation rain where it starts to drip and the cycle continues over and over again. So the ground cover is placed to prevent vapor coming up and keeping your crawl space dry, which is ineffective. If we look at the moisture here, we have high content in your moisture with a high content against your insulation, because all that vapor rising is getting absorbed into your insulation, acting as a sponge. This is what's causing the impact with the insulation getting oversaturated. These aren't rats that are pulling it down. It's just coming down and falling due to the weight of the soaked insulation. Also, with the insulation being wet, moist, right alongside your floor framing system, that water is going to pull that moisture and deteriorate your floor framing system, causing will cause bouncy floors up above in your living space. So with that being said, historically there have been a few options contractors, homeowners have used to attempt to tackle this situation. First, we could do nothing. You can monitor the problem. As we know, the odors are only going to continue to rise into your living space. This looks like a perfect breeding ground for mice, rodents, termites. Your PG&E bills go up, and at the end of the day, this is going to be a more expensive problem than taking care of it now. Next, like I mentioned, the painter's plastic. This is a cheap, ineffective way to prevent vapors coming up into your crawl space. You know, you go to Home Depot, we call it painter's plastic. This is a one-time use, it easily tears. It's just a Mickey Mouse job that anybody wants to tackle to save a few bucks. Highly ineffective. Sand and fans, since there's so much moisture in the soil underneath, contractors thought, hey, if we bring in more soil, and a fan just to air it out, the problem's gonna go away. That's actually gonna progress the situation and make it worse in time, because that soil is gonna be able to absorb more moisture, and that fan is just gonna circulate that high humidity air all throughout your crawl space, spreading the humidity, creating more mold, dry rot throughout your crawl space. Spray foam, yeah, it makes sense, but it just gets messy. In case a plumber or an electrician has to work on it, they have to break this apart and rip it apart. It gets really messy. Your termite company won't want to work on it. But last but not least, this acts as a sponge, absorbing all that water vapor coming up, creating to soak and deteriorate your floor framing system. Are any of these situations or any of these solutions I presented to you something you would be interested in so far?
No, Mark, they all really seem like a headache to me, and I want to get it done right.
Yeah, no, totally. We're gonna do something, we're gonna do it right. So that, the last but not least, it's like, hey, let's do a partial or improper encapsulation. People going to Home Depot, trying to pick up, an air system, like a dehumidifier, or, maybe some thicker plastic. They do areas of the crawl space and that are, where we have moisture in the soil, whatnot, and just the other areas dry. But you got to completely take care of this, because mold in that air is just going to travel and create more significant problems down the line. So that leads us, Mark, what can we do to permanently take care of this? So our engineering department put together this short video clip on how we change the environment in your crawl space, acting as its own microclimate. So you have a clean, healthy crawl space, and not least, you have a clean, breathable, disease-free area upstairs. So let me play this video. Play the video. So first, what's going to happen is that we're going to seal off the vents and make sure that no outside air is coming in, and this air that we're going to condition is not going to be able to escape and move outward. Then we're going to mechanically fasten or liner up your foundation walls, creating an airtight seal all the way in your crawl space. This is a completed look on our finished product with our liner. Our columns are wrapped, sealed shut, preventing no exterior moisture coming in. So this is all done, but we need to circulate that air. So here's a quick video of our air system and how it works down in your crawl space. Play the video. So when we come to talking about the moisture and just cleaning, conditioning the air, we use a MERV 8 filter. This filter cleans up to microns, very small in size, that won't allow mold spores to grow and get larger and spread throughout your crawl space. This is our air system placed in the center of your crawl space, allowing a full 360-degree of your crawl space, circulating the air uniformly. With our thermostat, we set the relative humidity under 60%, which mold can't grow. This unit kicks on a few times a day just to test the air, and it only runs when it needs to bring down the humidity levels. We got to seal the environment and have its own micro ecosystem. We're going to measure your crawl space door on site, fabricate a custom fit door, weather strip, seal it shut, not escaping any air to escape or any air to enter the crawl space. We use what is called Starboard, as you're familiar, I don't know if you're familiar with Yeti coolers. It's the same insulation board to create the airtight seal. And at the end of the day, Carlos, this is what your crawl space is going to look like. What do you think about that?
It seems really nice, and that dog even looks like he's having a good time.
You can make a little doghouse out there so he could run around, and tear resistance, you could withstand it. You could have excess amounts of storage in there. And if you want, just you get away from your wife and hide down there if you like.
I probably won't risk my dog down there, but I definitely appreciate the storage.
Yeah, in case you need to get away from the wife and kids, it's a perfect place to hide out, have a few beers with the friends. It's all good. So let me get this wrapped up for you and show you how much this installation will cost at your home.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you.